Hello, beautiful people. It's me again, Georgia, and thank you for coming to visit my channel, Exploring Full Woo. Today we're going to do show and tell. Yay! Today I want to talk about tools, tips, and tricks that can help you to connect with your inner guidance, that can help you connect with your guides and your central self. Tools are just that, tools. So technically you can do all of this without any of the tools. However, it helps make it easier, especially when you're learning. So, what can I show you today? This will be fun. Okay, so one of the first things that I got into, a gateway tool, I think, for a lot of people searching their spiritual path, are tarot cards. Here's a small selection. This is just a pocket version and it's nice and little. Sometimes that's nice because some of the cards get pretty big and they can be tough to shuffle. So checking out for pocket versions is kind of fun. It can be harder to see the imagery, and a lot of intuitive tarot readers like to use the images. I tend to use images a lot when I'm reading for myself. I am a visual person, I'm an artist, it just fits. So this is the OG. However, I tend to pick decks that I really like the artwork in and messages generally that generally resonate with me. So this is old school. You can find the meanings of the cards online. There are certain fundamental interpretations, and then different card readers can add or subtract from there. So you sort of have to get a feel for it, practice like anything. This is my other favorite tarot deck. I really love the images and I read deeply into them when I can. And some days I just look at the pretty pictures and that works for me. Let's see here. So these are bigger. I find they're harder to shuffle. But first card is Judgment. Hilarious. I'm judging the cards. So, I mean, look how beautiful that is. Can you see? Like, it's just rich for symbolism, right? I mean, this is animal based, and I really love animals and have special feelings towards them. So, little snick, right? Like, how can you not love this? Well, it's up to everybody. So I tend to do pretty simple spreads. A spread is, whatever cards you put down is called a spread. I tend to do just around 3 cards. Very common one is past, present, future, based upon the question you ask. Or the other one that I really like is actually recommended by the people who wrote the little booklet and made this deck. And it's Theme Message Guide. I use that one a lot, actually. I really like this one too because it has some basic quick read words that go with it. So, for instance, I don't know if you can see that image. So it gives a little stone. My nails are terribly dirty because I'm a jeweler. It's very difficult to have clean nails. Long story there. So this 10 of Wands is focus, clear vision, and awareness. And if you just heard some funny scratching in the background, that would be my cat deciding they want to play with my pendulum, which I was also going to bring up. He wants to go out because cat. Please don't want to come back in again. He probably will. Okay. So then there are also oracle cards. And I find oracle cards are great for adding clarity for a tarot spread, or just pulling out a card to answer a quick question. I mean, it can be bigger questions, but that kind of thing. This is one of my favorites. And again, you got to see the artwork. Okay, so let's see if I can find some images I really like. I mean, I just think they're beautifully drawn. Strength, partnership, and each card has its own meaning behind it. And this book offers little meditations or things like that as well. So yeah, I use this deck a lot. What else? There are angel decks here, which give advice from some specific angels. The Citadel deck is really quite beautiful, and it has its own way of creating almost characters that give you advice or answers on your path. The cards are really quite interesting. The shape is interesting. I like the size. And then the botanist. Here's an example of one. I mean, of course, I'm going to like the metallic aspects. How can you not? The priest. Hunter, just to give you a little example. And they're a really interesting way of sort of layering ideas and thoughts and concepts and things like that that can help you bring some clarity to a situation. So yeah, I use those. I also have many tarot readers that I watch on YouTube. And now this is cool. You can use the algorithm to your favor. And my guides say that they can manipulate the algorithm to put certain videos up in front of you. So there are certain tarot readers who do group or personal readings that I will find pop up in my feed on YouTube at really interesting times. And sometimes I can hold a question in my mind and then check out the For You page, and a tarot reader I follow will pop up. Sometimes one that I don't follow pops up, and I find that reading fits. It's really fascinating and can be pretty magical. I also follow political tarot readers, just to see what other people are talking about, to see if some of their predictive readings kind of fall in with what the information that I'm getting. I find it pretty fascinating, actually, and I tend to like the ones that are kind of sarcastic and are very spiritual and loving, but are also really real and just like, what the is going on here? That kind of thing. Okay, so what else can I talk about? Well, some other tools that many people use are dowsing rods. I don't know if you guys have seen those. I've never used them myself. I don't have a set, and I haven't really felt the urge to buy some, but that's because I really tend to prefer the pendulum, which I'll show you in a minute. But the dowsing rods allow you, like the pendulum, to ask for a yes/no answer. And actually you can get a maybe or a don't know or a can't answer depending on how you set it up. So with the dowsing rods, usually it's like no and they cross over, yes they're wide open. But then you could have it like, if they point both direction one way, it says like, I can't tell you that answer right now for whatever reason, because again, we're doing this for within our highest good, right? Our guides are helping us in ways that are for our highest good. And then the other way could be maybe, or no, like no answer. No answer usually is like straightforward, just not moving. That can happen too. But anyway, you can set those parameters up with your guides or whoever you are looking to get answers from, and then they will usually abide. Normally you do like a test of, okay, can you show me a no? Can you show me a yes? That kind of thing. And I do the same for my pendulums. So I have a couple pendulums here that I have put together myself. I just have some really basic chain. These are going to be actually mock-ups for necklaces. I haven't quite decided fully how I want to do them, but I want the pendulums to be wearable. I want to be able to wear it and have it with me. So most pendulums, people will, how do I do this? So this pendulum is actually just like a glass pendulum. And I have some moss agate here. And most people, what they do is just, so you can see, I'll do a short one. You need some length to it when you're doing the yes and no and stuff, but you just let gravity hold it over your finger and you want to influence it as little as possible. One of the things in my design I've noticed, it's really helpful and more comfortable to hold if I have like a little stone bead or something to hold on to. And then Stardust, can you help me out with this? Let's hold it nice and still to start. And then can you show the starting circles, please, of the pendulum? Thank you. I just had a moment of, oh my gosh, if this doesn't work. Okay. And so we have worked out that forward and back is yes, and side to side is no. Now you can't really see my hand, so you can't tell. Sugar. Let me try this one more time. I'm going to try it holding it shorter just so that you guys can see it. I didn't think about that when I was doing this. Okay, so still. Can we do the starting position of round and round? So the round and round is they're ready for a question. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I found myself a little bit nervous. And front and back is yes. Thank you. And let's do side to side for no. Sometimes it takes a moment. Some days are more energetic than others, but I know it looks like I'm not actually pulling on this. I guess you're gonna have to trust me. I might try doing a pendulum session, and I'll make the camera vertical, and then maybe you can see more. Maybe I'll try to think of some questions that we can ask. This is another one I've made. So it doesn't have to be stones. It doesn't have, like this is glass, but it doesn't have to be pointed. It can be like, I just mocked this one up, right? So, can I show you? So this is just a bead with the quartz and rose quartz. Okay, you want something that has some weight to it. I've even used this. This is my great, where did I put it? Where did I put it? There it is. This is my great grandmother's watch. So I've even used this before. It needs to have some weight so that when it's straight, like so that it hangs straight down, right? Like this part, it's the key to the watch. would work, but not as well because it will flop around a lot more. And actually it's moving quite a bit on its own. I know it might look like it, but I'm not moving it. So something with weight, won't fly off and will be a little bit more clear in how it swings. So again, like with this is actually moonstone. And I'm thinking that being able to hold it from here might be more comfortable than having to, for me and for people who in the future, if I work this out. But this works as well, right? And one thing my guides have told me is ideally it's a metallic chain, right? There's something to do with conducting energy, kind of like electricity that way. So it couldn't be like, it doesn't work as well apparently with cord, I guess, like leather cord or silk cord or things like that. So ideally something metal. I'm trying to decide if I want to buy chain or make my own chain, all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to decide from artistic standpoint as well. Anyway, so that's, another option with pendulum is to get or make a card where the pendulum swings to letters individually. I'm not super patient, so spelling things out makes me a little nuts. It's a bit slow. I will say that it does work really well for some people, and when you're just starting and you're not hearing all the messages in terms of words, it can help with that. In the beginning, I didn't hear any messages. I knew they were there. I would get like a word or a few words at a time, but now it's a whole conversation. I still struggle with getting names. That one's really hard for me, but I have always had trouble with names since I was a kid, and I have a terrible memory. But I'm working on that as well. Okay, so if anybody's curious and wants to see a pendulum video or had any questions I could try asking, I mean, I'm game. Another thing for you to pay attention to that's physical is sensations in your body. Our body is a is a tool. It's a tool for our soul peace and our central self. Ultimately, it's a soft technology, right? Like this human body is an amazing technology. And then there's the etheric body, which is chakras and auras and things like that, okay? So you can use your own body to sense. So if you ask a question and you hear an answer, but you don't know if you're right, you can repeat it back. And sometimes you can get chills. And the chills can be an indication that you're right. Another one is a ringing in the ears. Sometimes I get like feelings of extra energy, like I just need to shake it out. That kind of thing. And when I get chills, they're not the same as fear chills. So I'll get chills in my scalp, right? If it's fear, it's that feeling of your hair standing on end. If it's confirmation or my guides or like a whoa, yes, it's like under my scalp. Sounds a bit gross, like next to my skull. That sounds so weird. And then I get chills on my hips. Don't know why. Sometimes down my thighs. Again, that's not where I get fear chills. Sometimes if I get fear chills, it's like down my back. Or the back of your neck, right? But yeah, I get prickles around my hips. So freaking weird. It's probably some sort of hilarious joke, but anyway, that I haven't gotten yet. So another thing, you can use your body for yes, no answers to questions. This is going to sound crazy, but was part of my developing myself as a channel. However, I don't think, I mean, everybody has the capability to be a channel. Some it's easier than others. Some are more talented, naturally talented than others, but everybody can do it. And I had this idea. So I did this before a pendulum, before maybe the same time as learning some tarot, but I asked, this is going to sound crazy, so I use this with Michael a lot and Zeke to begin with, and I asked them to use my head for answers, and I wanted them to shake my head yes or no. I know, it sounds crazy. I don't even understand where I got that idea because I've never seen anybody do it before, during, or after that. Let's see if I can show you guys. It's weird, but and again, suspension of disbelief. You're just gonna have to trust me that I'm doing this. Okay. Well, this is an easy question and you are maybe not going to believe it, but let's see. Okay, Michael, are you willing to help me out with this as an example? Thank you. Is my name Georgia? Am I a dog? Do I annoy you sometimes? Sorry, I just made myself laugh with that. Okay. Do I annoy you sometimes? That's his maybe aside. That's actually him joking. He says I never actually annoy him because he has more patience than I do. Oh God, I'm losing my mind. Okay, so you have to be really relaxed in your body. Deep breaths, well hydrated for this kind of stuff, and trust. And then just hold yourself loosely is the only way. And then be patient. So as you saw, like my head drops or kind of turns funny side to side slowly. And doing the no is harder than doing the yes or even the maybe. The no is the hardest. It takes the most energy. So you just got to be patient, but it does work. I've heard of another trick where it's looping your fingers together, and you're doing it tightly enough that, you know, you're not pulling it apart naturally, right? And that's a yes or no. So a no would be you can't go through, and a yes is they open up your fingers enough that it comes apart. And you're using the same amount of pressure. So, oh, let's think of another question. Okay, Michael, are you here with me right now? Right, so that's a yes. And again, I don't know how to explain it, but my fingers were looser on this side than when I started. Michael, are you incarnate on Earth right now? Nope. Have you ever been incarnate on Earth before? Yes. Huh. I have some more questions for him, I think. Maybe we do ask the angels with the pendulum. I don't know. Okay. Another tool, which is probably really obvious, and you might not think of it as a tool, but it is educating yourself. Get some books. Oh God, how could I have forgotten? Astrology. Use your astrology. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Know your birth sign and know your rising sign. And in some astrologers think your rising sign is more important than your birth sign. To get a good reading, a full reading, you ideally know your exact or close to exact birth time. Okay, so birth day, month, year, time. This is a Canadian astrologer. Jenny is amazing. She has a really cool app where you can put in all your personal information, and it maps it all out for you and gives you all your readings. And then you can get an upgrade, and then she does podcast readings for every sign with like every combination. It's amazing. I am not affiliated with her in any way. And she is not the only astrologer I follow, but I really appreciate her. She is politically bent. She doesn't try to go into it deeply, but she does have her own political ideals. She is an activist in a sense. I completely support her activism. But that may turn some people off. They may just not want to think about politics whatsoever. I would argue it's pretty hard in the world that we are in right now, but to not do that, but that's my opinion. I have had astrology explained to me by Stardust and by Michael as, well, if the body's like a soft technology, right? The astrology is like a hard technology. It is like the computer hard drive, the computer operating system. Sorry. Oh, they just corrected me. Operating system. Okay. And it has been set up to have influence for specific reasons and to help program our bodies through birth month, year, date, time. Right? Anyway, astrology is freaking massive. I cannot believe I did not think to add that sooner. Yeah, so educate yourself. Find all kinds of points of view. Find all kinds of content creators. If you're going to look at religion, look at a little bit of everything, right? See what the through line is. Form your own opinions. Like, don't take my word for it. Explore yourself. I want to help people explore, and I believe 1000% in the things that my higher self tells me, but you don't have to, right? Like, I am one perspective. The thing is what we are supposed to be doing on this earth is co-creating together. We are supposed to be learning and then sharing our experiences, and we each have a little piece of the puzzle that we put together. We are meant to be working together, and this is what the systems have been building against. They've been putting up walls, putting in structures so that we are kept down, so we are kept in fear, so that we do not come together, so that we do not share our experiences that helps us realize, wait, why am I in debt? Why do I have to pay so much interest on my bills or my student debt or anything? why do I have to work to survive? Why are there so many constraints culturally in all kinds of societies that tell us how to act and what to do and who is right and who is wrong? We are all equal. We are all supposed to be sharing what excites us, what brings us joy, and we're supposed to be supporting each other. There is no reason why we should have hunger, why we should have poverty in our world now. None. None. And I feel very, very, very strongly about this. Not to go too far into it, but anyway. Yeah, and ultimately, like part of your education is community education, right? Community. Find your spiritual community. I mean, this is part of the reason why I started this. I mean, nobody's around and I'm still talking out into ether because I'm trying to put that creative energy out there because it's important. And because we are made of, built from, made for love. And we have a really bright future. We really do. And the more that we can educate ourselves and use our intuition and trust our intuition and use discernment, we're going to be okay. And we're going to do it together. I love everybody. I really do. I wish I could give everybody a big hug. Okay. Wow, this is a new record for length of video. If you stayed till the end, you're amazing. Okay. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.